pleased to know this is the last time I'm hosting these awards, so I don't care anymore.
The tongue lashing the room full of self-righteous, complacent narcissists received at the Golden Globes resulted in an aftermath that says it all.
He said everything he ever wanted to say to that self-obsessed pile of pulsating flesh known as Hollywood.
It must have been his last time hosting, because he's like, I'm just going to put it all out there. And it was hilarious. Because a lot of people were like, oh, I don't know if I should laugh, if I should cringe, but I found it funny.
I was like, thank you. Thank you, Ricky.
Ricky Gervais was fantastic as the host. I mean, he's the greatest.
Aside from the anger in the leftist Mockingbird media, everyone joyfully celebrated Ricky Gervais's smackdown of celebrities, targeting their constant grandstanding based on their plastic privilege.
Apple roared into the TV game with a morning show, a superb drama about the importance of dignity and doing the right thing, made by a company that runs sweatshops in China. So, well, you say you're woke, but the companies you work for, I mean, unbelievable. Apple, Amazon, Disney. If ISIS started a streaming service, you'd call your agent, wouldn't you? So, if you do win an award tonight, don't use it as a platform to make a political speech, right? You're in no position to lecture the public about anything. You know nothing about the real world. Most of you spent less time in school than Greta Thunberg. So, if you win, right, come up, accept your little award, thank your agent and your God. And
That's right, Hollywood. America loathes you.
he obviously didn't kill himself, just like Jeffrey Epstein. Shut up. I know he's your friend, but I don't care.
Because we all know that beyond the Weinstein casting couch and Epstein's Lolita Express lie unspeakable acts that tear at the fabric of American providence. Hollywood's secret days of sexually preying on children have gone from conspiracy to horrible truth in 2020.
If you read the book, you'll be like, transitioning from Disney to this was easy. I don't know, getting molested from your 6 to your 14 seems like way harder circumstances, or being physically abused all the time. The type of mistreatment that I was still dealing with at that time, that everyone around me saw and did nothing.
Disney has cornered the market on all things catering to America's youth. Among the Disney Industrial Entertainment Complex are untouchable filth like Guardians of the Galaxy director James Gunn, who nearly derailed his movie franchise with a barrage of pedophilic tweets. But the outrage concerning Disney's open secret is bubbling to the surface.
This started Ricky being around all of these people a lot. He was around.
Yeah, he was around all these people that are now known, in this pedophile ring of child molesters. He was around them regularly.
Disney child star Ricky Garcia filed a lawsuit in Los Angeles Superior Court in which they named Ricky Garcia's ex-manager Joby Hart, 37, Joby's Hot Rocks media business partners Paul Cohen and Sherry Anderson Thomas, talent agency APA, former AP agent Tyler Grasham, and manager Nils Larson, currently employed by Management 360, alleging that from the age of 12 years old, Ricky was groomed, sexually abused, and raped on a weekly basis, and that Joby Hart passed him around as a sexual plaything to other powerful pedophiles throughout the business. Relating a typical day in her son's life, Tammy Garcia explained, "This was a Disney party after a Disney concert filled with underage Disney stars being plied with alcohol openly, where child molestation was going on openly, brazenly, all under the watchful, knowing eye of Disney employees. And none of it seemed to be a problem, as no consequences resulted. No one, it seems, was looking out for or concerned about the safety and well-being of the kids in the slightest way." This is the Hollywood that Gervais was spraying venom on.
Talking of all you perverts, it was a big year for paedophile movies. Surviving R. Kelly, Leaving Neverland, Two Popes. Shut up. I don't care.
And no one seemed to have any problem with giving minors copious amounts of alcohol.
No, because looking back, that's regular. That's what goes on in Hollywood.
These agents of child trafficking that simultaneously brainwash the future generations of America are not untouchable. If there is to be a revolution that restores our American values, it must begin in the tiny hamlet of hell known as Hollywood. John Bound reporting.
Now it's easier than ever to have.
Are you as appalled as I am about Disney and all these other big corporations demanding that Georgia perform more abortions? You know, they're all threatening to boycott states that pass restrictions on abortions of babies that have a heartbeat. Missouri, I think, has just passed a bill. I think it's signed into law there. Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, and so on. And Disney's Iger just came out and said, well, it's impossible for us to do any filming activity in Georgia if Georgia's not going to allow abortions. Well, why is that? Is it because Disney's actresses have to have abortions all the time? That's the ethics of that company? I mean, Disney's supposed to be a company that's about children. I mean, half the Disney movies show children saving the world. Well, how are children going to save the world if they're dismembered in a Planned Parenthood clinic in advance? They're killed. And that's what Disney is demanding. It's beyond sick, really. But it shows the depths of evil and the lack of ethics of these left-wing corporations, all of them, from Apple and Nike, Netflix, same way. Netflix, which broadcasts orgies for teens in their series called Sabrina, I think it is. They hired consultants who are devil worshippers, basically, to make sure the show was authentic in its demonic devil worship settings, and then they have child orgies on screen. This was Netflix. And then Netflix denounces states where abortion is being banned beyond the moment that the child has a heartbeat. And I think the Supreme Court, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, said that a woman who's pregnant is not a mother. And then leftists are saying that an unborn baby is not human. And then there was a reporter from InfoWars that went out and was asking liberals in a progressive university if they supported abortion. And not only did they demand abortion, they said that you should be able to abort children up to the age of 3. This is what liberals want. They want the right to kill a baby that's already born up to 3 years of age. You know, let's be honest, what they're doing is just flat out murder. These are murderers we're talking about. It. Netflix and Apple and Disney, these are corporations that endorse murder. And of course, it contradicts everything that every normal, rational person stands for, and what we stand for at Natural News, which is defending life, protecting life, helping pregnant mothers have good nutrition. We want every pregnant mom in America to have a healthy baby. And we want those healthy babies to grow up with healthy foods, healthy nutrition, so they can learn well in school, right? So they can be awake and aware. They can navigate the world with a sense of intelligence and wisdom. So they can grow up to be good parents and good citizens. Health and nutrition is all about that. That's my goal as the health ranger and as the editor of naturalnews.com, to help make the world a healthier place. But Disney, their goal is murder more babies, because that's what those corporations stand for. Disney is not yet the most evil corporation in America. That title belongs to Google at this point, maybe Monsanto/Bayer. But Disney is climbing the ladder of corporate evil. They're trying to reach toward the high score of being the most evil propaganda, child-killing corporation in America, and they're getting closer every day. I say, do not reward Disney in any financial or monetary way whatsoever. Don't buy anything from a Disney character. Don't pay to see any movie by Disney, and that now includes all Marvel movies, the superhero movies, the Avengers, and guess what else? Oh, it's all the Star Wars movies too. You got to boycott all that stuff, because Disney is now the pro-child murder, quote, entertainment corporation that preys on children and demands they be killed in increasing numbers. So stop handing your money over to these evil corporations that truly, really, this is not an exaggeration, they have satanic and demonic influence all throughout Hollywood and all throughout these evil corporations. The reason that they act evil is because they're run by evil. So boycott them and instead find some wholesome entertainment for your kids. Teach them well, feed them well, get some good nutrition for them. Don't raise your kids on public schools and McDonald's and Disney movies. You want your kids to grow up as caring, compassionate human beings who understand the world around them. Raise them yourself. Homeschool them and feed them wholesome food.
Britney Spears and several other big names were groomed to star in the new Mickey Mouse Club during a time the company was rife with pedophiles. Dozens of Disney employees have been arrested for child sex crimes, including top executives and directors, and in some cases, rehired by Disney to work with children after doing extremely short jail time for raping a child actor. Former Disney chairman and Democrat Senator George Mitchell was identified as a pedophile who visited Epstein Island. And before that, Ghislaine Maxwell was doing photo ops for Disney's Save the Children. Several former child stars have claimed that the industry is crawling with pedophiles. We have already heard many of their stories. If we can look at the evidence and overcome our emotions, we can see what this is. Trauma-based mind control programs, such as MKUltra and Project Monarch, were revealed to the public via declassified documents in the 70s and again in the 90s, with several victims giving testimony before Congress. The basis of these programs is the routine infliction of severe trauma upon a child in order to force their mind into a dissociative state, allowing them to be controlled without awareness. Up until the age of 7, children live mostly in a hypnotic state of mind, when their sense of reality is being written, which explains why they target children, specifically those that come from abusive households. Bryce Taylor and Kathy O'Brien have each described in their books how they were regularly brought to Disneyland and Disney World, where they would be tortured and raped while being programmed with Disney stories, as well as Lewis Carroll's Alice in Wonderland. This has been verified in CIA documents. O'Brien says she was tortured in a room beneath Disney World, which we know was designed by agents of the CIA, who were running this program at that time. Victims of these programs were sold into them by their abusive parents, a model we see today with parents pimping their children out to the entertainment industry. Britney's parents had her audition for Disney when she was 8 years old, where she was then brought into the industry, sent to New York City for training, and brought on the show 3 years later at age 11, where she was dressed and directed to perform like an adult. The art of mind control was known as far back as Plato's allegory of the cave, where people's belief systems were being created by illusions force-fed into their minds. Story. Our imagination has always been influenced by story. And if you can control the stories told to the public, you can control their imagination. Since the dawn of television, visual storytelling has been the most fundamental form of mind control in the modern world. Television, movies, videos. And since the beginning, we have been subjected to a long-term agenda of sexual subversion. As each generation is born, the stimuli becomes slightly more perverse. As the Mickey Mouse Club grew old, their young, impressionable audience grew to perceive them as highly successful, while flaunting sexual promiscuity and sexual assault. You can destroy a society by destroying its sexual morality. This is fundamental in any society based on the family. When our children are naturally in this theta brainwave state of hypnotic learning, they should be protected within the family and learn from them organically. But the emerging global state, now being forced on us by multinational corporations and big banks, want to destroy this society. They want to mold our children, exploit them, and even castrate them. It is now being promoted in highly produced inspirational show tunes, and they draft laws to help facilitate all of this. A Republican senator who has produced such films as Breeding Farm, about women being kidnapped and forcibly bred for babies to be sold on the black market before they are fed to cannibals, is pushing a bill to fund film and television. This is the new normal. This is the inverted reality being programmed into our minds. Decades of traumatic abuse has demonstrably hurt Britney Spears. The human mind can only handle so much for so long. Britney is a tragic symptom of society's indifference. Because if enough of us really wanted to, we could change all of this right now. For Infowars.com, this is Greg Reese.
It's Britney, bitch.
Britney Spears and several other big names were groomed to star in the new Mickey Mouse Club during a time the company was rife with pedophiles. Dozens of Disney employees have been arrested for child sex crimes, including top executives and directors, and in some cases, rehired by Disney to work with children after doing extremely short jail time for raping a child actor. Former Disney chairman and Democrat Senator George Mitchell was identified as a pedophile who visited Epstein Island. And before that, Ghislaine Maxwell was doing photo ops for Disney's Save the Children. Several former child stars have claimed that the
So these demons are being arrested in this video, which was part of a New York Post article of Disney employees, I believe. What the article doesn't mention in enough detail that a lot of men from around the world, including the UK and the EU, travel to America in the guise of they enjoy Disney World, but in reality, they go for other reasons. So, unfortunately, there's still plenty of men from the UK and the EU going to America. We have no control of America, but we have control of people within our own country to some degree. So we need to point these people out. We need to point out why men without their children or don't have any families to go with are going to Disney World. All right, everybody, that's it for this show. It was to simply share this information with you. Today at 8 o'clock, I'm doing a special show with guests in regards to what's going on politically, the murdering capabilities of the National Murder Service. I'm going to share some stark information with you, something that I've experienced. We're going to have some guests on. We're going to show a lot of information. Now, the last time I did a show like this, I had a strike. I had the video taken down. I had to upload it onto Brighteon. So this time I'm going to be a little bit clever. I'm probably still going to get a strike. That's all right. I don't mind it. But I'm going to get hold of the video, and I'm going to upload it somewhere else where it's easily available. So tune in at 8 o'clock. Yeah.